not have to set, you know, Maddie Kubik 60 times.
Did a lot.
And that's what happens in a 5-1. Those outside hitters are going to get a lot more sets. In a 6-2, you spread it out more. So that was an advantage for us, and I think that may have wore down Creighton a little bit.
I know setting the red zone was part of your game plan, and your setters executed that perfectly. I was jumping up and down in my seat, hitting JB and I both love when they set the red zone and then the quick zone to the middles, which you still could have got the middles involved a little more, but the red zone was on fire.
Yeah.
And Whitney Launstein, she was hitting over the block.
Yeah.
She wasn't just going through the block. I mean, she was going over the block, and if from court side, I mean, it's incredible to watch her.
Yeah.
She's an animal.
She was getting up. The adrenaline was flowing last night.
So Allie Batenhorst, let's go back to her. It's an ab injury. She had this in preseason, or she was dealing with this in preseason. She sat out the red-white scrimmage because of this, came back, was healthy, and now is having issues again?
Yeah, it's one of those things that they're hard to heal up, and, you know, you try to get back, but just can be one little thing sets it off again. So, but she started the match, and I could tell she was off. I go, "You okay?" And she said, "Yeah." And then after she came out the second time, she said, "I don't think I can play."
She had a mishit that did not look like Allie Batenhorst, and JB and I were both kind of saying the same thing, that we thought something looked off, and she just looked like she didn't feel right. Any idea how long she'll be out?
No idea.
So Saturday, question mark, or will definitely be out?
No idea. I mean, that's with Jolene and her have to figure that out and get her. You know, we want to try to not have this go like this every week. It's hard to do when you do this every week. Can you play? Can you not play? So they got to get to the point where we're pretty confident she can go, and it's not going to be an issue. Is
it stressful playing Creighton? Because you seemed very stressed yesterday.
Is
it just because it's an in-state rival and?
Well, it was a big match. I mean, record crowd. It's Creighton, you know. And I told our team today, you know, there's always a lot of pressure on us playing Creighton or UNO, you know, because we're expected to win. In fact, a lot of our matches we're expected to win. So there's like, you know, there's pressure in that. And if you don't win or you don't play great, then, you know, the wheels are coming off, or what's wrong. And so it's more free for some of these teams to play us because they don't have that pressure.
I need to get my heart in better shape because I'm not ready for this kind of stress in September.
Yeah.
I was having a hard time breathing last night. I don't know about you, but it was intense there for a while.
It was a great match. I mean, both teams were playing well. It was great defense, a lot of digs, some great rallies, just scramble plays, people one-arming, throwing it over. You know, there a couple times I thought, the ball's down, and next thing you know, boom, boom, we're getting it over the net. So there was great plays. I mean, so it was a high-level match, and both teams played really hard.
Who has impressed you the most throughout practice and in matches? So looking at how you stat every practice, so based on practice stats and then in the match, who has impressed you the most through preseason so far?
Well, what position?
Any position.
Oh, any position. I mean, there's nobody that day in and day out super impresses. There's a day that somebody, you know, it'll be Lindsay Krause, then the next day it'll be Hayden, and the next day it'll be somebody else. It'll be a setter. So there's days that I've been impressed with everybody, you know, and that's what I love about this team. We got 14 players that can play. There's days Maisie Bosinger serves us off the court. So I can say there's days I've been impressed by her, and you know, that's one of the problems when they're 6'2". We can't get her in to take advantage of that serve because we just don't have enough subs. So, but that's what I like about this team. There's a lot of players that can really step up.
I don't know if you saw this, but Hayden Kubik, you subbed her in for Allie. On her first swing, she got housed.
Yeah.
And did you see her reaction?
No.
She goes up, takes a big swing, gets blocked, and she turns around and just wide-eyed is blinking, and JB and I just said, welcome to Division I volleyball, college volleyball. This is it. And then after that, she got in a groove and she figured it out. But it's just funny to see some of these younger players for the first time out there. I just don't think they expect this, how fast the game happens. And I know you practice it, but until you're out there under the spotlight, it's a whole different animal.
Yep, it is. And she went early on the way down, so she put herself in a bad position. But so we played 6 matches in the red-white, right?
Right.
Okay. She's had the final kill on the red-white in 2 matches. Think about that.
Maybe you need to think about starting her more often.
Yeah, think about that.
So speaking of stats, looking at your season so far, how does it compare to previous seasons? When you're looking at just the preseason and statting-wise, I'm sure you've looked back at the past. Are you guys about where you're normally at? Are you ahead? I'm sure offensively you're ahead because you've put up some big-time offensive numbers. But looking at defense too, serving might be a little down. You've had a lot of service errors. Can you just kind of give us a brief summary in each category where you're at?
Yeah, well, I'm comparing back to last year. So we are ahead on service aces. We are behind on service errors. We're hitting 100 points higher than we hit last year. Our opponents are hitting a little bit higher than what they hit last year. Our blocking is about the same, but we're pretty much at goal or above goal on every statistical category that our passing numbers are better than last year. And what I'd like to see is I want to see our serving game ratchet up a notch, and I think we have some new servers serving, and so they've got to learn how to serve tough with confidence under pressure. I'd like to see that. I think our out-of-system attack is better. It's one of our goals to attack out-of-system, so when the setters do dig and Lexi sets, are we killing balls or we hitting 50? And that is definitely up. So I think we're putting up some good numbers, and especially for how many different lineups we played.
If you could just improve one area of play, what would it be? Or what is your biggest focus right now? Is it serving, since serving is so important?
Serving's one of them, but serving and passing. That's always going to be the answer, I think.
Serve and pass.
Yeah, and run more middle. We actually ran some really good middle last night, and then we kind of got away from it because our passing broke down. But really have a great middle attack, which we've got 2 new middles, so we're still trying. We've played 3 setters, so we're trying to get that connection going.
Nicklin finally figured out how to set Caitlin Hort. I about jumped out of my seat. It was a perfect set. Caitlin went up and crushed it, and it was like all the pieces had come together. Now her and Ani missed a couple other ones to the middles, but that had to be rewarding to see that. Yeah,
we looked at that on video today. We have our cues on what we need to do with her, and so they're figuring it out.
We have a couple of calls and texts rolling in. You can read that text there.
All right. This is from Art in Los Angeles. It was really nice to see Coach Cook smile after the match. See, you need to smile more.
Okay.
And he said, we could tell he was under a lot of stress. Coach, we love you regardless. You are the GOAT. Go Big Red.
Okay.
Do you know what the GOAT stands for?
I do. I picture a goat in my mind, but...
Stands for greatest of all time.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. But anyway, Art, thank you. And yeah, I'm trying to smile more.
402-413-2400, the number to call the Sports Nightly Hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. All right, let's go out to West Point now, and Pete is on the line with Lauren and Coach Cook. Pete, how you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Great.
Say, I got a question for you. I listened to the match on the radio, and one of the radio announcers was saying that our blockers were going straight up, and they needed to block up and put their hands over the net.
Press over the net.
More success. And I didn't know if that was something they was coached to do, or just poor technique, or if that's what you see.
That's exactly what I saw, and I was telling them the same thing. But you know what? They always don't listen, Pete. So, so we keep telling them, and we keep working on it. But we got a little too high at times on them, and Creighton had a great game plan against us. If you watched one of their outside hitters, Keely Davis, she came in and started tipping a bunch of balls. Well, that starts messing with your block because they're trying to go up there and block the ball, but the tip just comes over. Then they start reaching and guessing, and so it messed with our block a little bit. So that's something we talked about today and last night. We got to stay with what we're trained to do, and let the back row get those tips and still make big moves and get over. And as we say, grab ears. So how's that for an analogy? Grab ears. Grab the hitter's ears, and you'll be getting over the net.
Sounds good. Well, we're here. State of Nebraska's proud of you. We think you're an excellent coach, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, Art. Or Pete, sorry.
Yeah.
And Pete, he was listening very intently to you
Yeah.
last night. Are you impressed
Thank
at
you,
what he
Pete.
took away?
Absolutely. I like to hear when listeners provide feedback and are really tuned in. So thanks for tuning into the broadcast, Pete.
And thank you for the call, Pete. All right, we got to take a quick break, but Lauren and Coach Cook got much more coming up with them here on the show. Dorothy Lynch, home style and light and lean dressing, endless flavorabilities. Keep it right here on the Nebraska Volleyball Show.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Nebraska has taken over leadership from Princeton University in coordinating the U.S. physics community at the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. For its role, Nebraska has been awarded over $50 million in National Science Foundation grants. This cutting-edge work at the world's largest particle accelerator helps physicists uncover the origins and makeup of the universe.
Grant gets a handoff. Stunner steps his way to the 15, cuts to the outside. Wow, 10, 5, touchdown. Anthony Grant, an electrifying move at the 19-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. In Hour 1, we'll make our weekly college football picks. Then in Hour 2, we'll get the latest taste of the sideline slice with Jeremiah Searles and the latest from the Nebraska nutrition staff. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Woodhouse Mazda and Woodhouse Place Mazda are the Omaha Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers, conveniently located in Bellevue or in Millard off 144th and Giles Road. You can shop, finance, and buy your next Mazda SUV or sedan your way. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will guide you to your next vehicle, and our full service department is there for you when your vehicle needs maintenance. Visit us at woodhousemazda.com or woodhouseplacemazda.com to learn more.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns for teachers.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, Financial Services.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. From white corn, non-GMO, food grade, and organics, the world's appetite for food-grade grain is growing every day. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Find the rep who can help you plan next year's value-added grain program at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
The official co-op of Husker Nation, Central Valley Ag, invites you to participate in the volleyball radio show, whether you text from the tractor or call from the combines. Farmer feedback is always welcomed on the Huskers Radio Network. And we welcome you back into the Nebraska Volleyball Show. I'm Jessica Coody, and again, very excited. It's been an entertaining first segment. Can't wait to see what else Lauren Cook-West has in store. She's filling in for John Baylor here tonight. You just gave him the boot, said, hey, I got this tonight.
I think JB's out living his best life. Who knows where, somewhere in downtown Lincoln tonight, having a good time and just taking the night off.
Well, 402-413-2400 if you've got any calls or texts you want to send in to Lauren or Coach, and I'll let you take it back away.
We actually had a text come in, Coach, during the break about FS1, who was televising your game last night and then switched it off, I believe, to go to a baseball game. Why? How do you feel about that? I know social media, Husker fans, Blue Jay fans, people were heated.
Yeah,
and there were a lot of people watching.
Yeah, I heard about it. I mean, I walked back to our locker room and people were chirping at me about it. I didn't know what was going on, but that's a great question that they would do that. I'm assuming FS1's Fox Sports, Big Ten signing a big deal with them, so maybe we need to get that in there. We're not cutting off volleyball games. But it was a heck of a match, and I think people were probably into it. I'll be curious what the ratings were.
Is there anything you can do on your end to reach out to them or try and fix this for the future? It's out of your hands, out of your control?
Yeah, that's out of my hands. But you know what? That's why we have Husker Sports Radio.
Huskers Radio Network.
Huskers Radio Network, because people can listen on radio, which most people do anyway. They watch the video and turn on the Husker Sports Husker Radio. Yeah.
It's tough to say. I'm glad it went out because we got more listeners, and we're all for that. I want to ask you how preseason scheduling works.
I mean, Pete is talking about blocking from West Point, Nebraska.
See, Pete
They
learned
must
something.
not start on the combines out there yet.
I think they're on the combines while listening. You can get radio in the combines.
I know. But I'm not. I'd be curious. I don't know if they've started harvesting yet. So.
I don't think it happens till October. I could be wrong. But I want to ask you about preseason scheduling. You haven't talked about it a whole lot, but how do you decide that you're playing Creighton, for example, or Stanford or Kentucky? How do you set up these matches? How far in advance do you plan? Is it just the year before? And are you actively reaching out to teams and trying to schedule who you want to schedule, or are teams reaching out to you, or is someone else handling all of this? How does this work?
There's a lot going on with scheduling. So first of all, the Stanford, Kentucky, Louisville, that's a 4-year agreement. So each year we play Stanford, and then we play either Louisville or Kentucky, and one's home, one's away. So it works out nice because that week you get a home match and an away match against a top team. Creighton, we're going to play every year. We just broke the record we set the last 2 records playing Creighton. So congrats to Creighton, and hosting that and getting that record, and maybe we'll look at trying to beat it next year in PBA. And then the rest of our non-conference schedule is trying to find teams that will come here, trying to find teams that are going to still be high RPI. Well, we like to play home matches. And then, for example, I know next year we're going to, Kansas State is opening up a new facility that they're building for volleyball. So we're going to go down and help them open that next year. So that, because they came here 2 years ago, I can't remember, but our agreement was that we would go there when they finished their facility. So it was supposed to be finished, I think they were talking about this year, and then now it's been postponed until next year. So we'll go to K-State next year, and we'll go to Stanford next year, and then we'll try to get as many home matches as we can. Just because teams like to come here. I mean, you know, Corpus Christi, obviously Ole Miss, Loyola Marymount. I mean, they're just so appreciative of their players getting to play in front of a great volleyball venue and great fans and people that are, you know, volleyball is appreciated here. And, you know, and everybody, when we take foreign trips, everybody asks, you know, why do you always go to Japan? Because when, did you go to Japan when we went on the foreign trip?
China.
We didn't go to Japan that trip? That was the one time we didn't go to Japan. I can't remember why we didn't go, but Japan is like, volleyball is so honored and cherished there that you feel like you're part of this special thing. And I think that's when these teams come into play in Devaney, they're like, man, this is great. Volleyball is honored here. It's a big deal. It's important. And the facility's beautiful, and how we do the game, and the fans, you know, they're very positive and cheer great plays from everybody, and cheer teams as they're going out. And then, of course, they're smart enough to know, you know, Nicklin's sister's playing for Pepperdine, and give her a big ovation. And so that's pretty cool. I mean, those are lifetime memories.
I'm glad you brought up PBA, because we just received a text from Tracy in Omaha asking if, when we play Creighton next year, if we could play in Pinnacle Bank Arena so we can break the record.
Yeah. Tracy, I think, you know, call in on Trev's show, ask him if it's okay, if he'd be okay with that, and then ask him if they're going to sell beer there too. So I think that's one of the reasons Creighton gets big crowds up there.
Well, Wisconsin's trying to now beat the record.
Yeah.
I think, is it that match happening this weekend?
I think it's Saturday. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's this week or early next week.
It'll be interesting to see if they're able
Yeah.
to beat that. I don't think they'll be able to do it, but you never know.
Adam from Lyon says, let's see volleyball in Memorial Stadium. Thoughts?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's been brought up many, many times. The problem would be, who would we play? It's outdoors, you know, and where would you put the volleyball court? Because, I mean, it's so big out there. So I don't know where you put it in the end zone like a concert, but then you wouldn't, you know, get a big crowd, and so that'd be a logistical nightmare. And I don't know if football would be too happy about it.
Put it in the middle.
Yeah.
Put seats around, so you have a bunch of courtside seats. Then you can fill the stands.
Yeah, I'd rather bring Garth Brooks back.
Or Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Or who have you been listening to lately?
I listened to all of it. So.
You've been on a country kick or folk music. I don't even know what you would call it.
Yeah, I do a little bit of everything.
Ryan
now.
Bingham.
Yeah, I do. In the mornings, I start off, you know, because Art's saying I had to smile, so I start off at the station. It's positive energy for the start of the day.
Hey, Nebraska 811 says, go dig red before you dig. Always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Lauren, you're a big hit on the YouTube stream, our YouTube chat, but we have a question for you from Crypto King. Wants to know if you've ever thought about becoming a coach.
We need to take a break.
Good question.
I see what Coach Cook goes through, and I want no part of it. So there's your answer.
Okay. All right. Well, got anything else? Let's see. The texts are rolling in. Jeremy in Texas says, great job, Coach. Keep up the good work. He is in Texas harvesting cotton.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
I remember we used to go play Texas Tech. I don't know where, you know, we'd fly into the airport there, and then the drive to get to the campus there's all these cotton fields, and so we'd always, you know, for the new players, we'd always stop so they could go see how cotton's grown and what it feels like, and we'd pull over and let them all go out there and check it out. It's pretty cool.
It's awesome. Okay, Stephen Bellevue, listened to the match last night. Great match, great team, great coach, and Lauren has a great laugh. You just got to hear it just now.
Oh, thanks, Steve, right?
Yes,
thanks, Steve.
Bellevue.
Thanks.
All right, and Adam had a response. Tell football it's your show. So you will call the shots. You've earned it.
Yeah. That would be, I don't know. We have to get a perfect weather day. I mean, that'd be really tough. So
For sure. I couldn't imagine if it was windy, how you would
it would be a
serve.
nightmare. Yeah.
All right, let's work in another quick break here. This Saturday, we are recognizing the agriculture community in our great state with the Acres Ag Day celebration, recognizing our partners supporting Acres Ag Day, AGI Bex Hybrids, Central Valley Ag, Channel, DeKalb, Golden Harvest, and Valley. All right, we're back with more with Lauren Cook West and Coach Cook here on the Nebraska Volleyball Show right after this.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
The name of our new promotion says it all. Powerball First Millionaire of the Year. Through September 12th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket at any Nebraska Lottery retailer and enter the voucher number to win a trip to New York City for New Year's Eve on December 31st, 2022. Plus, you'll also get a chance to win $1 million and become the Powerball First Millionaire of 2023. Remember, this promotion ends on September 12th, so plan ahead and play today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Subaru loves building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The 2023 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. With 182 horsepower, you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love is out there. Find it in the Crosstrek. 182 horsepower engine available on select models. DeTow Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln and online at DeTowSubaru.com.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. From white corn, non-GMO, food grade, and organics, the world's appetite for food-grade grain is growing every day. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Find the rep who can help you plan next year's value-added grain program at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we help you find vehicles designed with purpose and function, prioritizing safety, technology, and the dependability you need. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo to shop in-stock and inbound inventory, or to order your new vehicle. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
I'm so glad we called SOS. Our AC is the coldest.
I'm always the coldest.
SOS to the rescue.
Hey, this is Dakota Scrawford, wide receiver from Louisiana, now playing in Lincoln. When your AC isn't the coldest, you call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Take it from the coldest. We will keep you cool this summer.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Hey Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Got a couple more segments here on our Nebraska Volleyball Show, and Lauren Cook-West in studio in the flesh. Great to have her here. Take it away.
Well, we have a few texts coming in.
Yes.
I like this texting feature. People are just
they
sending them in
roll
left
in.
and right. I do miss the calling, though. So if
Yeah,
you want to
so
call in,
call in.
Call in.
Give
but-
Lauren a call.
Yeah, let me talk.
Got to
I'll
give her
talk to you-
practice answering the phone calls.
Coach, any plans to make an international trip within the next few years? Because I think you're due for one, correct?
Next, this spring of 2023, we can go. And
Back to China
we're
and
working
Japan?
on either Japan, China, or Brazil. And of course, there's a lot going on in those places right now. But if we have a preference, we'd like to go to Japan and China. We've already been invited to go back to Tianjin, which you went to. They have an incredible facility there. I mean, it's a sports complex for all sports. They've put, hundreds, probably millions of dollars probably into this place, so it's great. But and of course, Japan. So we like to go. That's what we're planning on. But we got to see what's happening in the world at that time. And Jalen actually went down to Brazil in May to watch them train beach and indoor, but he was told do not go out at night. So as you know, when you go on those trips, I mean, it's a volleyball trip, but it's also a cultural trip, a tourist trip, experience the food and things like that. Well, if we can't go out at night in Brazil, I'm not sure that'll be a lot of fun.
That would be stressful.
I would not want to be seeing the faces on the Huskers like, okay, it starts, see you, get in your hotel room, and see you tomorrow.
That would be tough.
Yeah.
Someone else texted in and said, it was actually Michael from Omaha, I'll always take lessons in leadership from Coach Cook. How do you figure out what system and personnel best utilize the talent you have on your roster in any given year?
Yeah. On 45th Street in Psychic, I go there and talk to her.
She reads your palms.
Yeah.
Tells you what the future holds.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it feels like.
Someone else texted in and says, they said, Lauren, we miss you at Devaney. JB is great, but you complete the on-air package in person. But hey, I will be at Devaney for the first time in 3 years.
Wow.
This Saturday.
Has it been that long?
2019.
Yeah, wow.
COVID ruined a lot of things.
Yeah.
Lauren, are you ready for the Red Kingdom?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone keeps asking me if I have the song memorized, and I keep telling them I've never heard it before. I've heard snippets of it from social media and the video feed that I have, but I'm ready to experience it in person. You talk it up like it's the greatest thing to ever happen to Nebraska volleyball.
Let me just tell you a quick story. So, in between games 2 and 3, when they play Welcome to the Red Kingdom, Nicklin's sister is singing it as they're waiting to start the match, or the game 3. And so I asked Nicklin afterward, I said, why was your sister singing the Red Kingdom? She goes, oh, their whole team listened to it for Psych Up. They listened to it in the van coming over to the gym. They love it. So there's the biggest compliment we could get.
I wonder if other teams listen to it. Is it just Pepperdine, or is it?
Well, I don't know, but the fact that they listened to it and were playing it for Psych Up, that's pretty cool.
That's cool. 6-2 versus 5-1. I want to get into details. We're not going to go too in depth, but I do want to talk through it. Give us just some pros and cons for each, and then what I really want to get into is why you have Nicklin and Whitney matched up with each other, and then why you decided to match up Ani and Krause. Because in my mind, I'm thinking Ani played high school volleyball with Whitney. Why not? They have a great connection. Ani sets it really well. Why not put Ani and Whitney together? But I know you have other reasons for why you have the matchups you have in the 6-2, and then just tell us a couple pros and cons 6-2 versus 5-1.
Great question. So pros of a 6-2. The pros are more people play. It's harder to defend because you always have 3 front row hitters. You can run more patterns and be more creative on offense. It gives us a bigger block. So last 4 years we had Nicklin blocking up there. Now you got a 6-4 right side and a 6-3 right side. So it gives you more. You become a more physical team. The cons are you have 2 setters, so you don't have very many people out there playing all 6 rotations. There's a lot of moving parts, so a team has to really work together to make it go. And as you saw last night, our plan was to get as many balls behind the setter as we could, and we were very effective doing that last night. In a 5-1, you got to have a pretty good pass to get the ball all the time behind the setter. So those are the pros and cons. The 5-1 is you've got a core group of people that's out there the whole time. You have one setter that's out there the whole time. She can lead and pull things together. But, I think Ani and Nicklin do a great job of pulling things together. That's why we felt comfortable going to it. In a 5-1, your hitters are going to get a little more of a rhythm because they're out there all the time, and you can simplify things a little more and maybe do it the same thing at a higher level more consistently, whereas a 6-2 it may not be as consistent. So because you got 2 different setters and in different tempos, and the hitters are hitting off both setters, so it's those are where I say you have the moving parts. So those are kind of the pros and cons.
So why put Nicklin and Whitney together, Krause and Ani together?
Well, Whitney had 25 kills last night, so what else do I need to answer?
Well, I'm asking why you, I know Nicklin and Ani can both set Whitney, but why did you ultimately decide, or why have you stuck with Nicklin and Whitney together? There's a reason for it.
Yeah, because right now Whitney's playing the best of our right sides. Nicklin is our best server, and so we want them in the game as much as we can. And typically where we start, and we're starting in a certain rotation to get Kenzie Knuckles in the match as much as we can. So we're trying to get those players in the match as much as we can, because a typical volleyball game is going to go around twice and another half to another full 6 rotations, unless the game goes long. So whoever starts, typically if you go over the course of a season, will play about a third more than the players that come in after 3 rotations. So that's one of the reasons that we're trying to maximize what we have and get them the most opportunities.
I noticed that Kenzie Knuckles was starting in the front row, and that's just to cut down on substitutions, correct? Because she's going then to be back to be your next server.
Yeah.
So if you start her in the front row, you're not having to sub her in to serve.
Right. We want to try to get her as many rotations back there as we can.
And what are some of your best rotations? Is it rotation 1, 2, and 3 when you have Nicklin and Whitney in there, or is it 4,
Actually,
5, and 6?
We have 6 rotations,
right.
And all 5 are doing great. Our worst rotation is rotation 5.
Rotation 5.
Yeah.
So that's Ani Evans is setting, Lindsay Krause on the right. Who else is in the front row? Becca Alec.
Allie and Becca, yeah.
And Allie Batenhorst. Yeah. Okay. And then in the back row, it's Lexi Rodriguez, Maddie Kubik.
Yep.
Okay.
So part of the reason that rotation has struggled is I think we got what'll happen, we've only played at 3 matches. So if you have a bad run, somebody runs a bunch of points, and I think we lost a bunch of points in that rotation. I can't remember if it was Ole Miss or Loyola. So that's what sets us down right now. But all the other rotations are very strong, and we have plus points, we call it. So in other words, they're plus 10 compared to our opponent. So I just looked at all that today, but you always have a weak rotation. You're always going to have a couple weak rotations. Well, and hopefully there's only one, maybe. So now we got to make it better.
Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Lauren, we got you a call. Mark in Omaha. You're on with Coach and Lauren.
Hi, good evening.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, I just want to know, is the slide going to be obsolete this year? And I just want to say Little Sis Cubic looked pretty solid yesterday. Have a good evening.
Yes, Little Sis Cubic did a nice job, and when she shook off the nerves a little bit and got introduced to playing against a top team. But she had some big plays for us, which was pretty cool to see. No, the slide will be, we're continuing to work on it every day. It is an option we can throw in this offense, and you will be seeing it.
All right, let's work in our final break. One final segment here with Lauren and the coach. Women-owned businesses are vital to thriving culture of entrepreneurship, innovation, and responsible contribution to community and the planet. Bank of the West is proud to provide resources, training, and solutions to help you achieve your goals. Learn more at bankofthewest.com, member FDIC. And Lauren has a treat coming up for you in this final segment. Keep it here on the Nebraska Volleyball Show.
Touchdown, Nebraska! If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more. Got it! Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. From white corn, non-GMO, food grade, and organics, the world's appetite for food grade grain is growing every day. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Find the rep who can help you plan next year's value-added grain program at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Final few minutes here of our Nebraska volleyball show with Lauren Cook West and John Cook. Take it away. I know you have some fun questions planned.
All right, Coach. You know me. Every time I step in for JB, I have always done, and every time I've done rapid fire questions with you. I know you looked thrilled.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
It's been 3 years since you've done it, so how could I forget?
So do you remember the rules?
No.
Okay. You just have to ask or answer the questions as quickly as possible.
Okay.
So just first thing that comes to mind, you spit that out.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
No.
Okay. If you had to change your name, what would you change it to?
Yeah, I was gonna say John, but Leroy.
What word do you have a hard time saying?
Chipotle.
Chipotle. You know what's so funny? I got Chipotle the other night, and on the bag it says something about the ingredients. They're talking about how clean the ingredients are, and they're saying the hardest thing or the most difficult thing, or I don't know, something about no one can say Chipotle. Everyone messes up how to say Chipotle, but they don't mess up their ingredients. And I thought of you, and I wanted to cut it out and posted it in your office because
the girls actually were asking me to say it yesterday. They make fun of me.
Nickname your parents or siblings used to call you.
I don't remember that, but my nickname in college was Cooker.
Cooker. Last song you listened to?
You mean like today?
Today. Last song you listened to?
The last song I can remember was yeah, I was listening to that positive energy stuff today. There's not really no words or songs. It's just
Is
positive
it an app?
energy. No, it's just on Spotify. Yeah. But Red Kingdom, baby.
Oh, it's always the Red Kingdom. What's your favorite number?
You mean like jersey number?
Number. What?
1.
1. Okay. I thought you would say 2.
No.
Your Instagram, it's J Cook 2 or John Cook 2.
Yeah, I think that's what they had to make up to give me the other one was probably taken.
All right. Say one word in another language.
Bueno.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Well, hello. It can mean a lot of things, but Espanol.
How many pull-ups can you do in a row and push-ups?
Well, it depends. I do pull-ups on the machine. I just do 3 sets of 5. But it's got a little help. It helps me.
Who's your best friend?
You.
Dream car?
Oh, that's a great question. Dang. It'd have to be probably from the Porsche line.
We'll end on this. Would you rather cuddle a baby koala or a baby kangaroo? And I know you've been to Australia, so have you cuddled either?
No, probably koala.
Koala.
All right, Lauren Cook West, John Cook, great job. You can come back anytime.
Okay.
This Saturday, we are recognizing the agriculture community in our great state with the Acres Ag Day celebration, recognizing our partners and supporting Acres Ag Day, AGI, Bex Hybrids, Central Valley Ag, Channel, DeKalb, Golden Harvest, and Valley. The Nebraska football show is up next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Grant gets a handoff. Stutter steps his way to the 15, cuts to the outside. Wow, 10, 5, touchdown. Anthony Grant, an electrifying move at the 19-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. In Hour 1, we'll make our weekly college football picks. Then in Hour 2, we'll get the latest taste of the sideline slice with Jeremiah Searles and the latest from the Nebraska nutrition staff. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Backed by popular demand, Hy-Vee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hy-Vee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hy-Vee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. Some restrictions apply.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
This is the Nebraska Radio Football Show, proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel seedsmen place products to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. And your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com.
Back to throw is Schuster, looking down the middle field, hit, and ball pops out. It's loose, and a pile up, and the Huskers, I think, have it. Stephon Wynn, I think, has it. As Nelson hit him from the backside, the ball squirted forward, and the Huskers have forced that turnover. 3 to the near side, 2 to the far side. Quick screen pass out to Washington. He's drilled right away. What a great play, man, on the edge by Chris Kolarvik. Firing through, that'll lose 2 yards. Gives it off to Porter, busts through, breaks a tackle, 35-40. Lowers his shoulder, ball comes out. It's loose, a pile up at the 47-yard line, and the Huskers say they've got the football. No official signal yet, and yes it is. Huskers have forced a turnover, picked out of there by the Big Red. Caleb Tanner has the football.
Here's your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to our football show for the week. Delighted to have defensive coordinator Eric Chinander with us until the top of the hour, so plenty of time for you to be a part of it with a call or a text at 402-413-2400. Huskers coming off of a 38-17 victory over North Dakota. You said earlier in the week, through 2 games, not good enough to this point. Really gave up 10 points. I mean, the interception gave them the ball at the 8, really short field. And until the last play of the game, they weren't over 300 yards. Some of those things were pretty good last week.
Yeah, I think there's definite positives we can draw from both week 1 and week 2. But I think the guys understand that it's not quite up to the standard they set, not the standard I set. So they want to live up to the what they put in writing at the beginning of the season. They want to live up to what they think they can be, and I think football teams for the most part, it's not about where you start. I know it's about wins and losses and those kind of things, but it's about where you finish the season. And these guys want to get better and better each week. I've seen some great things this week as they approach those limitations we had in the previous 2 games. So I think these kids really want to exceed, they want to excel, and I still like where our team's at.
Coach Frost mentioned Monday is going to do some more one-on-ones during the practice. How does that help you, and how did that go?
It went great. I think that simulates the speed of the game a lot more than, with the scout team. We have an unbelievable scout team. They give us a great look, but it simulates the speed of the game a little bit more. It's a time when, the defensive lineman can go against the offensive lineman, and it's really a live mentality. It's time where you can see some full speed routes, and it's not so much that the players are different. It's, the scouts are running a different team's offense. They're looking at cards. This is our team running their good stuff versus us running our base defense, and I think that just speeds up the reaction time and gets you a little closer to a game day simulation.
You've used the word leverage a lot. Talk about that, what you mean by that, and what you are or aren't seeing in that realm of defense.
Yeah, I think when you become a great defender, especially where the college football is gone and where the NFL football is gone, it's become a little bit of a space game. And everybody has to understand when you're playing defense, there's a job to do. You also have to understand, the great ones anyways, they understand their issue, and they also understand their leverage. They understand where they can, quote-unquote, miss a tackle. We don't want anyone to miss a tackle. But where, if you're going to miss one, where can you miss it where the other people are coming to help you? If you're a hook defender, you have to track that thing outside in. If you're a curl flat defender, you're the edge of the defense, and so on and so forth. But when guys use great leverage and really run to the football, even if there's a miss, it gets covered up by other guys hunting down. But when you don't use great leverage, you're not hitting the ball to other people, and that's where problems occur.
John in Omaha on our text line for you, Coach, says, I've seen our tacklers tend to dive for the feed or go for the big collision instead of setting themselves up to make the tackle. How do you work on that?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Diving for the feet, I haven't seen too much of that, but the way the game of football has changed with the safety provisions they've put in, you can't hit anybody above the numbers anymore. So the strike zone, we talk about eyes to the near hip. That's where the strike zone is in college football anymore. And the way that the space game has become, there was a lot of back in the even when I played high school football, it was a lot of stop your feet. get your head across the bow, those types of things. We don't believe in stopping your feet. We believe in running through tackles, running through ball carriers, always gaining ground, long stride, short stride, shuffle and shoot through the ball carrier. So we're encouraging guys to run through the tackle, not necessarily preaching a big hit, but running through a tackle. And once again, that leverage comes full force. You know, when a ball carrier is running into your leverage, then you can shuffle it down. When a ball carrier is running away from your leverage, you can never stop your feet. Somebody else is going to pull that up, and now you got to run through it. So it all depends on what type of tackle you're talking about and what situation the kid's in.
Our chat with the coach, proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel seedsmen place products to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. North Dakota was 6 of 15 on third downs. How did you feel like your third down defense was last week?
You know, I thought it was, once again, it was okay. It wasn't where we wanted to be. And a lot of it, North Dakota was a very good football team, well coached. Good players, tough kids, played hard, but a lot of that was our own doing. You know, one of the missed tackles on there was probably something that the caller was talking about. I thought that improper leverage was used on a couple of them. Could have saved us maybe a first down, but the good thing is kids are understanding the structure of the defense. Now we just need to perfect technique, perfect the little nuances in the defense, and I think, you know, as we continue to move forward, that'll get better and better.
Couple of sacks last week, didn't have any against Northwestern, so you got there a couple of times with Garrett and O'Shawn. What are you seeing from your edge guys through 2 games?
Yeah, I think those guys, they played a better football game in North Dakota than Northwestern. I thought they played well Northwestern, but I thought they played better. They played within the defense, within their game, and I really thought that those guys rushed the passer well, but they left some sacks on the table. I thought there was more to be had out there, and I just keep looking for those guys to improve. You know, the better those guys play, obviously, the better the pass defense becomes, the better the DBs become, the better the DBs cover, the better those guys rush the passer. So it's all got to work in symphony, but I thought those guys had a nice game, and I think they're going to continue to get better and better as the season progresses.
Pat Fitzgerald, Northwestern's coach, said it's his best offensive line in 17 years. So you faced a really good offensive front. I mean, there's 11 guys on the other side of the ball trying to do something as well. People need to remember that.
Yeah. I thought those guys did a really nice job up front. They had a good plan. They got the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly, and they also, you know, used some backs and some tight ends to chip our edge guys. So they had a good plan coming in of how to, you know, neutralize our pass rush a little bit. So, you know, obviously Coach Fitzgerald's always done a great job with any team he's ever had. And I agree with him. I thought that offensive line was you know, much improved from last year, and they're a really good unit.
They're almost all back, and those 2 tackles are legit. One of them probably is going to be playing at the next level in a hurry.
Absolutely. I think Skoronski is probably, you know, one of the best in the country, so I'd look to see him play on Sunday for sure.
Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Doc in Lincoln says, Coach, can you talk about our corners? Can we see them crowd the line a little bit more, maybe play some more man-to-man?
I think the corners are really good players. I think Tommy Hill has come in here and done a really nice job. Quentin Newsom's, you know, quote unquote known commodity. He had a lot of starts last year. You know, I think you always gotta look at what you're playing. You know, what are the routes that are being presented to you? Where do we need to get extra hitters in the game? And when time calls for it, I love to play man-to-man. You know, there's a time and place for everything, but obviously you love to play some man and add some rushers to the pass game, and so I'd love to do that in the future if it's the right time and place.
You lost a lot of experience on that back end. I mean, the 2 safeties had been here forever, and then Cam Tater-Britt was a heck of a football player. So you've got guys who haven't played a lot at this level back there, outside of Quentin, who's your most veteran guy back there.
Yeah, I think the next guy that's played some games is Miles Farmers. You know, he started a few at the end of last year, but not a bona fide starter for the last couple of years. Once again, you know, just it means a lot to those guys in the back end, and I talk to them, you know, on a daily basis about just things that, you know, we can improve, and Coach Fisher's working with them and things they can improve, and they take, you know, they soak it all in, and I think that their lack of inexperience, if you will, is not holding them back. It's just they're continuing to learn, and they're going to get better and better every single week, and they're going to start seeing things a little faster, kind of like Markell and Deontay did. But I think that group's going to be, by the end of the season, you know, as we continue to progress through this, that's going to be a really strong point on our team.
How pleasing was it to see a young guy like Marquise run down that long play, tackle him before he got to the end zone, and you hold him to 3? That's a pretty good, I would think, for a young player, and something you probably use in film sessions during the week about this is where we talk about maximum effort. We save 4 points right there.
Yeah, you're 100% right, and you know, I felt great about it, but it wasn't surprising.
Right, you didn't feel good about the play, but you felt great that he got it.
Right,
yeah.
and it wasn't surprising because he gives that effort in practice every day. He flies around, he runs around. You know, sometimes, you know, with a young guy like that, it's better to say whoa than giddy up, and sometimes, you know, he's flying around, and we got to calm him down a little bit. But I love that about him, and he's a great young man. He's a great football player, and I think he's going to be a star by the time he's done at Nebraska.
Future captain. Write that down. He's got that kind of leadership ability.
Absolutely.
Jeremy in Texas, for you on our text line. Coach, some of the clinics down here in Texas are teaching read the backfield for keys instead of the line because of the new age of RPO. I know we've always taught key, the line, the back. How do you feel about where your keys are?
Yeah, I think it depends on the offense you're playing. You know, some of these teams that are in the Big Ten, we get the, I don't know if we get it or we have the luxury or however you want to say it, but we get to see all different kinds of offenses, you know, spread, 2 backs. We get to see pro style. We get to see option stuff. We get to see everything. So I think it kind of depends on who you're playing. If you're playing one of those pro style teams with 2 backs in the backfield or an NFL style run, you know, you can read the inside triangle. If you're playing, you know, a spread team, you got to read guard in your back a little bit. But I think that there's a lot of different ways to, you know, to do things. And I don't know if there's a wrong way. Probably there is a wrong way, but there's a lot of different ways to do it right. I think you got to do what works for you, you know, but I think, you know, for right now, you know, we're keying guard in your back a lot in a lot of these spread sets. So,
what kind of changes have you made against the RPO game in the last 6-7 years? I mean, you always tweak things, figure out something. Offensive coaches are trying to trick you. You're trying to counter what they're doing. What have you changed on defending RPOs?
Yeah, I think it really goes back to triple option football, right? I mean, you know, they're running, they call it inside zone read, and there's a bubble out there. Really, that's just veer, and there's a dive, and there's a QB keep, and there's a pitch. The pitch might be the bubble pass, it might be up in the curl, it might be somewhere, but they're doing the same thing the triple option teams did to you. They're making you play 11-on-11 football. So you're playing 11-on-11 football, and or you're trying to disguise something you're doing and send a pressure or cut up the front and you know, steal a gap here and there and keep some extra guys out in coverage. So it's definitely, it forces you to tweak things every week, and especially depending on what kind of RPOs you're seeing.
How about the defensive line? I mean, you lost a lot there, too. Ben Stilley was with you forever, and then Damian Daniels off to the NFL. And I mean, how about you got some new faces up there, and you went to the transfer portal to get some guys who you now added to the rooms.
Yeah, I think those guys have done a really good job. You know, I think Ty Robinson's a superstar. He's going to continue to play at a high level, and I think, you know, once he gets more comfortable with everybody around him, just like those guys were last year, they've been together so long, he'll continue to play well too. Colton Feast is, I've talked about him a lot, self-made guy, did it the hard way. He's earned everything he's got. And then, you know, Nash Hutmacher's been in there. Mosai Newsom gotten some play last couple weeks. And then, you know, the new guys, Stephon Wynn's played really well the last 2 weeks. Devin Drew's played really well the last couple of weeks. So I think we got some pieces inside that are really good. And then, you know, the edge rushers you already talked about. But, you know, we also have, you know, we all know Garrett and Caleb and O'Shawn. And then, you know, throwing Jamari Butler and Blaze Gunnarsson, I think you got a really nice crew and you got a nice rotation there.
How far behind were Stephon and Devin? I mean, they weren't here for spring. Stephon you had for most of the summer. Devin was a really late addition. How close are they to maybe with a total understanding of what you want out of those guys?
Yeah, I think, you know, they're close. I think, you know, Stephon's probably closer than Devin. Stephon's a very high football IQ. You know, you could tell that when you first met him, when we first started talking before he was even a Husker. And, you know, to be honest with you, Devin's done a really nice job of coming in and learning the system and being able to operate out there. And I said it before, but Coach Dawson and the, you know, the graduate assistants that work with the defensive line and help with the defensive line have done an unbelievable job of getting him ready to play in a football game 10 days, you know, before it happened.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Our lines are open for you, 402-413-2400. The same number works as a text. Keep those coming. We'll pass along to Coach as well. It's our Nebraska football hour. We've got a lot more straight ahead.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hello, I'm Tom Osborne.
And I'm Coach Frost.
Statistics prove that youth who are mentored and receive support and guidance from a caring adult show measurable improvement in academic achievement, motivation to succeed, and hope.
Over the past 30 years, Teammates has served more than 43,000 youth, and right now there are more than 1,000 waiting for a Teammates mentor.
For more information, please go to teammates.org.
This message is sponsored by the NEX Cashback app. Earn 15% cash back on every purchase, every store, every day at Nebraska Crossing in Gretna, the official shopping center of the Huskers.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm Student Government President Jake Drake with Campus News. A record 54 Husker students earned the Benjamin A. Gilman International Scholarship in the 2021-2022 academic year. This nationally competitive scholarship provides funding for study and internship abroad opportunities for high-achieving students who might not otherwise be able to afford them. Recipients include students from Crete, Norfolk, North Platte, Raymond, Omaha, and Lincoln.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. It's our Husker football show for the week. The defensive coordinator, Eric Janander, with us until the top of the hour. If you want to be a part of it, 402-413-2400. Our chat with the coach, proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel Seedsman place products to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. JP in Omaha. Love what you're doing, Coach. Keep up the good work and coaching them up. Do the players watch the good film breakdowns or the bad? How do you implement that into practice and learn on the mistakes that are made on game day?
Yeah, I don't quite hope I'm answering this correctly. We do. We watch the good and the bad from the game. We watch the game in the entirety. So every play from the game gets watched. In practice, not every play gets watched. What we kind of do is, as we're watching the film as a staff, we'll make the cut-ups for each individual position group. And obviously in those position groups, we highlight some really good things that players did, maybe the technique that we want to show the other players. We also highlight the mistakes that everyone made so we can get those corrected on a day-to-day basis. So yes, the good and the bad get watched. The game in the entirety, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, gets watched. But, you know, a huge piece of coaching is correcting, and then, you know, another huge piece is reinforcement. So I hope that answers the question.
Do you do a film breakout with the defense, and then each position coach does their own, or how do you handle that?
Yeah, so when we get together as a unit, we're talking about structural things, talking about you know, how we want the guys to play, if there's an effort, good or bad issue, if there's a tackling, like some people have mentioned already, issue, if it's a complete defensive issue or a structural issue in the defense, or a check didn't get made right, or something really good happened, we highlight that together, and then the individual position coaches go through it with their individual players.
Mike in Grand Auto says, Coach, is there any rules about defensive linemen having to be in the three-point stands? Can they all be standing up? And how does that affect offensive lines? Can it mess them up if you're doing one of those?
There's no rules about anybody being down. You know, I think that for the most part on first and second down, most people like defensive linemen, especially the interior guys in the three-point stance, just to get leverage on the offensive linemen. The edge guys, as you guys probably watch a lot of Big Ten football, some people have them up, some people have them down. We have a combination of both up and down defensive ends. Then when you're talking about third down, there's definitely a place where, you know, you can get everybody up or most of them up and walking around a little bit and try to disguise which you're going to bring a blitz or not bring a blitz and confuse the offensive line. So I think there's definitely room for both in the game.
You'll like this one, Coach. This is Molly. She says, I'm turning 13 Saturday. I was wondering if you could hold Georgia Southern to 13 or less. P.S. My dad asked me to ask that question.
Well, Molly, that would make me very happy. If we could get that done for you, I will definitely talk to the guys, and if it comes true, we'll have to get you send you a T-shirt or something.
Yeah, that would be nice. 13 points. I think you'd probably sign up for that. I mean, you'd love the shutout or something less than that, but that'd be a good night's work there. You had to spell Nick Henrich last week. He was not available to you. You started a true freshman, Ernest Hausman from Columbus, in that spot. How'd he do?
Yeah, Ernest, like, you know, I said in the media before, was there some mistakes? Yes. Was there some some mental errors and some physical errors, absolutely. But Ernest he's a special young guy. He's going to be a fantastic football player. He's going to have a really bright future as a Husker, and I was really proud of what he did going out there. And it wasn't like your first start was, on the road somewhere where the crowd wasn't a factor. He's a hometown guy. He's a Columbus native. He got to go in Memorial Stadium and make his first start in front of an unbelievable crowd. So I'm sure the lights were shining pretty bright in his face early, but I think the rest of the guys did a good job of settling him down, and I can't wait to see what he turns into throughout this year in his career.
How's his football IQ? Is it beyond his years a little bit, would you say?
His football IQ is very, very high. And it all comes to fruition on game day. Can you draw it on the board? Yeah. Can you answer the questions? Yeah. Can you get it done when the lights are on and the crowd's screaming? That's what we have to see. And for the most part, he got it done. And like I said, there's always mistakes, there's always corrections, but he is very smart, and his football IQ is beyond his years.
Dorothy Lynch, home style and light and lean dressing, endless flavorabilities. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to call us up with a comment or question or fire off text. Love the text coming in. We'll keep rolling through those from you here as we move through the hour. Your nickel. You had great competition in August for the nickel spot. Isaac Gifford came out of camp as your one. Looks like he's played pretty well in that spot.
Yeah, he's done a lot of nice things. I thought he played well 2 weeks in a row. He's got another test this week. They're gonna throw the ball around a little bit, and they're gonna go fast. And it's been great to have Javen Wright back healthy. He's played really good football. He's doing an unbelievable job on special teams, and he needs to get some reps in the upcoming games. Chris Kolarvik was at nickel with us, and then last week, as you guys saw, he sacrificed for the team and moved back to inside linebacker, where he took a lot of reps, and he's also playing really well on special teams too. So I feel confident about the guys we have in that room right now.
Chris, that's pretty unselfish of him. I know he lost a little bit of weight to try to help his quickness and foot speed, but to know you were down a man and that inside backer, he knows that position pretty well to go out there. And I thought he did some pretty good things for you Saturday.
Yeah, he really did. He slid back into that role, and obviously you play the position for a week, and you're getting the game plan put in, you're seeing a new offense. It's tough, but he did a really nice job, and thankful that we have him on the team and that he did what he did, and he's always ready to help the team wherever we need it. So I'm glad to have him.
Quentin Newsome, we don't talk a lot about him because I think people just kind of take him for granted because he's the guy that has played an awful lot back there. What have you seen from him? Where does he still need to improve as a defensive back?
Yeah, I think you don't probably hear a lot from him because they don't throw the ball at him a bunch, or it's not a bunch of, he doesn't give up a bunch of completions, which is a great thing as a corner. He does his job. He's not a loud guy. He's a great leader for the team, especially in the defensive back room. Him and Miles Farmer, but he comes out every day. He competes every day. He does his job. We feel 100% confident with him on the field. Everybody can always improve a little bit, and I think Quentin's done a really nice job of getting his eyes cleaned up over the offseason, cleaning up his press technique, but he's come along really nicely, and I'm really proud of what he's done for our team.
We passed John Cook as you came in to do this hour, and I heard him ask you, how did you do coming back from Europe with your body clock and stuff? Affect you much?
Yeah, I told him, I said, I think, the young guys, every time I got up to go to the bathroom, those guys were all sleeping. I slept a lot on the way home, so I don't think it was, I don't know. When you're young and when you travel around a lot and all those kind of things, that stuff doesn't bother you as much as it does, some other people. So I thought those guys handled it really well. They came back to work the following Monday, and were we a little bit lethargic? I don't know, maybe, but maybe not too. So I don't think it had that much effect on us, but I guess we'll see this week. If we come out blasting, then maybe it did, maybe it didn't.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people question Nebraska, like, well, don't you want a bye week after that? Don't you? And in Nebraska, the choice was not to go ahead and play a game. You win the game, so I guess in the end it works out well. But I thought your people who planned that whole thing, I thought the logistics of all that went really well over there. Moving a football team around like that is not an easy thing to do.
No, I don't think anybody will ever know the amount of work that went into that with the operations, with Andrew Sims and Austin Herrick, and then just the sheer manpower and the weight of the equipment that got moved with Jay Terry and his staff. I mean, in our administration, they got everything, dialed up so well and got us the accommodations. I mean, everyone that was involved in that did an unbelievable job, and very thankful for them.
Hey, this Saturday we are recognizing the agriculture community in our great state with the Acres Ag Day celebration, recognizing our partners supporting Acres Ag Day, AGI, Beck's Hybrids, Central Valley Ag, Channel, DeKalb, Golden Harvest, and Valley. Looking forward for a great day on Saturday. Well, time now for our College Vault Play of the Week. We go back into the vault, find a great play in Husker history. We're going to take you back to a non-conference game in the early 80s. The Huskers were on the drive. This was the scoring explosion, which Nebraska is going to wear replica jerseys of that team this Saturday in their Georgia Southern game. Huskers on offense. Let's listen to the call.
3rd and 2. Nebraska's over the ball in the eye with Rozier at the top of the eye, and Gill calling the count. He turns, flips it off to Rozier. Rozier turns. He's running back around the field. He's trying to get away, looking for blockers. He turns upfield. He's going to run a touchdown. Touchdown! Holy cow! Man, woman, and child.
And the great Lyle Bremser on the call there. Mike Rozier obviously went on to win the Heisman Trophy that year. Alumni Hall is your ultimate Husker shopping experience with the largest and best selection of apparel, vault gear, and tailgate accessories. Shop their 2 Lincoln locations or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Huskers shop. 402-413-2400, the number to dot us up with a comment or question, or if you want to, fire off a text. More with the coach coming up.
Get your Ford your way at Woodhouse Ford. Completely customize your next vehicle and ensure that you are getting exactly what you're looking for. From cargo space to tires and even safety features, you can easily design a vehicle that meets all your needs. Plus, we make the process stress-free with 3 convenient locations and the ability to view all our inventory in one place at WoodhouseFord.com. You shouldn't have to settle, so start building your next vehicle at Woodhouse Ford today.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm Student Government President Jake Drake with Campus News. Nebraska has the most technically advanced buildings in the Big Ten, according to an annual review of universities across the country. Nebraska has also saved over $85 million over the past 17 years by making long-term investments in clean, reliable energy sources, cutting-edge automation, and collaborations across campus.
Grant gets the handoff. Stunner steps his way to the 15, cuts to the outside. Wow, 10, 5, touchdown. Anthony Grant, an electrifying move at the 19-yard line.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. In Hour 1, we'll make our weekly college football picks. Then in Hour 2, we'll get the latest taste of the sideline slice with Jeremiah Searles and the latest from the Nebraska nutrition staff. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. From white corn, non-GMO, food grade, and organics, the world's appetite for food-grade grain is growing every day. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Find the rep who can help you plan next year's value-added grain program at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
I'm so glad we called SOS. Our AC is the coldest.
I'm always the coldest.
SOS to the rescue.
Hey, this is Dakota Crawford, wide receiver from Louisiana, now playing in Lincoln. When your AC isn't the coldest, you call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Take it from the coldest. We will keep you cool this summer.
Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness, loaded with off-road ready upgrades, and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
For 46 years, our focus has been our customers at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont. Come see for yourself how easy buying your new car, truck, or SUV at Sid Dillon can be. Stop by our dealership in Fremont to order your new vehicle and shop in-stock and inbound inventory. And if you need a commercial vehicle, we're your GMC Business Elite dealer. Shop at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
GMC, we are professional grade.
Well, the Huskers return the first or second half opening kickoff for a touchdown. You could be a winner of $54,000 credit on a new vehicle from Woodhouse Auto Family Dealership this season. This week's contestant, Rachel Bricky of Omaha. Go to Huskers.com/Woodhouse for official rules and get yourself entered for future weeks. Rachel, it's coming. I feel it. I feel a kickoff return coming for the Huskers this year. Coach Shenandoah with us until the top of the hour. It's our football show here on Sports Nightly. 402-413-2400, the number to call, or if you want to fire off a text. Art in Los Angeles says, Coach, you got a couple of bye weeks coming up. Do the players get the Saturdays off? How do you structure the bye weeks?
Well, usually they get they would get Saturday off, and usually you practice. You know, you're only allowed a certain amount of practice during the week. So usually you're going to practice 3 or 4 days during that week. Give them a little time on both ends to recover. You know, and usually in those type of settings, it's a little bit more good on good, practicing your base stuff, and then towards the end of the week, getting ready for the next opponent. But yeah, the players definitely get some time off during that. Coaches get to hit the road and go recruiting. So we're gonna be in some high schools. I know I'm already scheduled to go see some high school / junior college games that first weekend. So it's a nice time for a lot of people, but it's also a busy time.
Had a good summer on the recruiting trail. I know you can't mention names because they haven't signed yet, but it looks like you guys are in a pretty good spot coming out of summer.
Yeah, I like where we're at. I like some of the pieces that, you know, like you mentioned, committed that we can't really mention, and some of the ones that are committed that maybe the public doesn't know about yet. Mm-hmm. But I think, you know, with the ever-changing times we live in with college football, you're going to be recruiting nonstop from now until the time the next season starts. You never know. The transfer portal's open both ways, and guys leave and guys stay and guys want to come and all those kind of things. So I think each and every year you're going to have to, from here until they change the rules again, you're going to have to look at your team, and it's going to be like the NFL. You're going to have to go to, the transfer portal, the junior colleges, the high school guys, and make the best team you can.
Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. You mentioned Colton Feast earlier in the program, just a guy that made himself into a good, solid football player, a walk-on at a program. I'm looking out there in the second half last week, and there's Phelan Sanford playing some defense for you. Oh, he must have earned your guys' trust to put him out there. The game was still very much in doubt at that point in time.
Yeah, Phelan's done a really nice job. He's played special teams for us for the last couple seasons. Both those two guys, amongst others, but Phelan and Colton, they've earned not only the trust from the coaches, they've earned their teammates' trust. You're talking about a guy from Binkelman and a guy from UTAN, and
yeah.
Those guys have come in here and they've done it the right way. They've worked hard, and I couldn't be more proud of those guys. I couldn't be, just more happy for those two guys, because they've earned everything they've got, and it's been awesome to watch.
Luke Reimer came here as a walk-on, didn't last very long. You guys scholarshiped him up pretty good. I was on one of our affiliates today, and they said, ask Coach Chenander about Luke. I think there's some perception that he didn't have a great game last week because he didn't have double-digit tackles, which is almost kind of the norm with that young man. What have you seen from Luke in 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, Luke's an outstanding football player, and just like everybody else, he's got really good speed. He's got really good, he's a long arm guy. He's not, super tall in the grand scheme of things, but he's a long arm guy. He can really run. The thing I think that he's really improved is he can really diagnose plays now. When he was younger, he was more of a see ball, get ball type guy. Now he understands, what he's looking at, what he's seeing. Without Nick out there, to be honest with you, it was kind of his show out there. You had Ernest in there, whose football IQ is very high for a young guy, but Luke was in there running the show for the whole defense. Setting the front, getting the blitzes directed the right way, getting the checks going the right way. Along with the back end making their checks too. But Luke did a lot for us in that game, and I don't think that he's ever played a bad game since he's been a Husker. But some are better than others. But Luke's going to be really good this year.
Not one of those guys you lose sleep over worrying how he's going to play.
No, not at all.
Yeah. All right, this week, Georgia Southern. Clay Helton, reputation liking to throw the football quite a bit. I know they played a team last week that might be hard to kind of gauge what kind of group that they've got. What are you expecting out of them Saturday night?
Yeah, I think it's hard to gauge, who they played and who they are. It was their first game as well, both teams. They're I think they're going to go really fast. I think, Coach Helton is obviously talked about that publicly. They want to be a big-time tempo team. They've shown that they want to throw the football around, but they also can run it very adequately. They have, very, very good run schemes. They're a zone team. They're a counter team. They're a power team. So they have all the runs available to them. But I think that, they want to, as the game goes on, they want to wear down a defense. They want to, keep you on the field, not let you sub. They want to go fast when they want to go fast, and they want to slow it down when they want to slow it down. So I think it's going to be a pretty good challenge for our guys to see that type of team.
Kyle Van Treese is the quarterback. We saw him a year ago. He's at Buffalo. He transferred after that season to Georgia Southern to play for Coach Helton. What's he do well? Yeah,
I think the system fits him pretty well. Maybe even better than when he was at Buffalo. There's a lot of. I think he's a very smart player. So I think they put a lot on him to get him in the correct check and get it from the sideline and get everybody else directed. He can get the ball out of his hands quickly, as he did versus us last year. There's a few times on film that he can run the ball adequately. So he'll pull it and make you pay when you miss your assignment.
Ken on our text line says, I want to go back to the Northwestern run game. Did they surprise you with anything, or are they just that good?
Yeah, I think that they, like I've said before, I think they had a few wrinkles in the game plan, but everybody does. Also, I think we didn't know exactly what we had with the new defensive line pieces, so we probably, that's probably a mistake that I made. I played those guys a little bit too much, the veteran guys, when we could have had some fresh bodies in there. But it's a really good football team up front. I thought that we we're a good football team up front too, and I think that we could have neutralized that thing a little bit more. And I think there's a few personnel decisions that I made that weren't a benefit to the team, and a few things that we did just as a first game type deal that could have been different.
Well, the official co-op of Husker Nation, Central Valley Ag, invites you to participate in the football radio show. Whether you text from the tractor or call from the combines, farmer feedback is always welcomed on the Huskers Radio Network. I know we're just a week or so away from harvest starting in parts around the state. We'll be getting some more calls from the combines. 402-413-2400. That's the number for you if you want to dial us up with a comment or question, or keep those texts coming. We're back with our last segment with the coach next.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Shelter Agents Pete Voles or Brent Ruggo in North Platte, or in Broken Bow, see Agent Brent Custer.
Our chat with the coach, proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel Seedsman. Place products to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. Last few minutes with Eric Chenander, Husker defensive coordinator. 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question. Huskers in action Saturday night, Georgia Southern. I know the players, fans love night games, and usually the atmosphere in there is pretty cool, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. Shoot, I don't know if I've been involved in a better atmosphere than Michigan last year. It was really something to watch. I almost missed the light show. You know, sometimes at the quarter, I almost went up and went to the bathroom, and somebody was like, "Oh, you better sit down and watch it." Yeah, so it was awesome. And you know, the night game, any game at Memorial Stadium's, you know, second to none. And then the night game only amplifies it a little bit. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the freshmen that have never been part of one of those, or the new guys on the team. But it's really exciting.
Children of the Corn in our chat room wants to know if you've thought about running a 4-2-5 at all on defense.
Yeah, we ran that 86% of the time last year.
Okay.
So
it was a big part of our plan last year.
Yeah, and it hasn't changed this year.
Okay, very good. I've not asked you this. I know in Ireland, they had you guys clear down on the corner. How different was that? Did you feel like you were kind of disconnected a little bit from the game?
Yeah, it was weird. It was definitely different. I mean, it was the same for both teams, so it didn't, it's not an excuse or whatever. But we were way down on. I think I was on the goal line looking back. So it was great when it was on this side of the field, but when it was on the far side of the field, it became a little bit difficult to see as opposed to what it normally is.
Any other full-time assistants up with you, or are the rest of them down on the sidelines?
The rest on defense are down the sidelines. Yep, but I have a great crew up there with me. I have the graduate assistants and the quality control guy. So I got really good help. They give me really good information, and we see the whole game up there.
We've heard Coach Frost talk about, because of the new assistants on the offensive side of the ball, they're still trying to figure out how to communicate with each other. You guys haven't had to deal with that, but there is something about that, isn't there? Kind of a rhythm that a staff gets into during a game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, I used to be on the field. I've done both. I think that, when you're a new staff, maybe it's important to be on the field. When you're together a long time, you trust the other coaches on your side of the football, and you trust that you can relay information down them and they can get it corrected, and they can talk to the team. So I feel very fortunate with the assistant coaches we have on defense. We've been together for a long time, a lot of trust, good friends. But I'm very fortunate to work with those guys.
Mentioned earlier in the show, O'Shawn had his first Husker sack. I think we're going to see a lot more of those. That's a young man that seems like he's fit in pretty well with the program.
Yeah, he's done a great job. Obviously he's a good player in those types of things, but he did a great job of coming in. You worry about those guys in the NFL and in college football now, the high priority free agent type guys, but he's done a great job of coming in here, working hard, being humble, and being part of the team. The guys love him, the coaches love him. He's fit in really, really well, and I couldn't be more happy to have him on the team.
Your defensive front last week had, I think it was 3 tips. Those are the ones that need to turn into picks, right? Somebody needs to grab that ball that's deflected up in the air, and that's just a matter of kind of maybe being in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, it is, but it's also, about playing harder and longer than everybody else, So, you watch the turnover reel from the NFL and college football, which I do in the off season. Those picks, a lot of them come off tips and overthrows.
Right.
So, you got to be able to capitalize on that. And not every single one is somebody going to be around, but, you'd like to get 1 or 2 of those, a week if you can get some tip balls up in the air. But, yeah, that would make a huge difference.
And I know you've been kind of wanting to see some more. I think, you've had a turnover in each game, and you'd love to have more than that Saturday night.
Yeah, we'd love to, our goal on defense right now is to get 2 a game. So we'd love to get that, and once you get that goal, you always want to eclipse it. But we'd love to get multiple turnovers this week.
Well, good luck. Hopefully, and you're not going to have to worry about the rain. You're up top.
Yeah, no, I'll be fine. I'll be dry and warm, so it'll be good.
All right, thanks for coming in.
Absolutely, thanks for having me on.
You bet. Eric Chinander with us here on our Husker Football Radio Hour here on the Huskers Radio Network. Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Huskers 6:30 kick with Georgia Southern on Saturday night. Pre-game coverage begins at 2:30 with Husker Game Day. For our entire crew, thanks for listening tonight. We'll have a full show for you again tomorrow night. Good night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Backed by popular demand, Hy-Vee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hy-Vee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hy-Vee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. Some restrictions apply.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next.